Welcome guys back to the channel. I just drove one car to the unit, to the workshop, and like I don't even want to talk about it in advance. Let me just show it. Let me switch the camera and see what is wrong with it. So this is the car in question, and that's the other one we just done. We're going to compare the two to see or point out what's wrong with it. So I'll ask Dan's help as well, because we just checked it and there is so many, so I can't even remember. So he will have his say as well. So I don't even know where to begin. Dan, where should we begin?
Okay, let's start from this side of the engine and go
forward.
Backwards.
Yeah, backwards.
Towards the cabin.
Yeah.
So first thing, no coolant in the reservoir.
In the reservoir, so there. Hopefully there is in the system, but no coolant in the reservoir. We've checked and it is not the proper color. It is the pink color. It's supposed to be, it is even written on there FL22, which is the green color. Not really difficult to buy. You can get it from anywhere, dealer, eBay, wherever. Just get the proper one. Yeah, so that needs to be addressed. Okay, so what we can see from here, that plastic bracket clamp thingy is loose. It's not properly on. It's maybe broken as well, and the car is leaking oil from there. The starter motor, you see, that's fully black, covered in oil sludge. Yeah, it's not a good thing. The next one, that is a vacuum line coming from the brake, from the vacuum pump. That's just barely on. It's so easy to pull off. Like, I drove it, but it didn't have turbo fault codes, because that line goes down below the EGR cooler and to the turbo solenoid. So that's operating the turbos, the vacuum line, I mean. So yeah, that has to be done, because the problem is a bracket is missing from here. So yeah, it is not properly done or put back, because the full story, like, I didn't ask the owner, which I will in a minute. I will give him a call, but the car has been worked on. Obviously we can see it, what has been done to it. The cylinder was replaced. And how we know it, because if you have a look at here, that cylinder head is painted, and we just bought two very similar cylinder heads, very likely from the same seller. So that was replaced, and we will cover why, like, not why, but how else we know it was replaced. Also, the bolts are not the correct ones, but that's just aesthetic, not that a big of a deal. Well, next one,
we've got an oil leak.
Yeah, oil
from this area,
which is the vacuum pump. So we don't know if they didn't put silicone underneath the last camshaft cap journal, or camshaft cap or camshaft journal, or it's just a vacuum pump seal is leaking the oil. But anyways, the vacuum pump has to be replaced, because the owner has fault code for it. That is another, like, not the proper clamp. It's just aesthetic, because it does the job. However, like, a bigger issue in here, what you can see, that fuel line, that's not safe at all. That's supposed to be routed on the other side of that injector stud. Also, bolt there is missing.
The bracket,
the bracket, which is
holding
the two lines, the fuel lines, is missing. Injector nuts over tightened, which I will show you on the other car. On that one, how you know, or like how it's supposed to look like when it's not over tightened.
It's pissing oil, basically. If you look down, it's soaking wet and it's dropping on the floor.
Yeah,
the tray is missing.
We will leave the car and we will check it from underneath as well before we start any work on it, or even we don't even know if you're going to do any work on it. Exhaust pressure sensor is the old one. It is, I've checked already live data. It's giving like a little bit less. It has to be replaced in our opinion. That is zip tied back. Yeah.
It's leaking oil from the cover.
Yeah, leaking oil from the cover, from the valve cover, from the rear. Can I? Oh yeah. If you see, that's oily. Also, you won't be able to see it from here, but on the timing cover there is a bracket for the various connectors that is missing. It's not there.
There's a foam also missing, broken.
And also and the tensioner for the drive belt has a crack that has to be replaced. Also, this was funny because they tried to do it the proper way, so they cut it, but I'm guessing they couldn't undo the bolts, so they just cut the whole bracket and removed it that way. The bolts, again, aesthetic, but not the proper bolts there. Bracket here missing, the bolts there holding that bracket, not the proper ones. Look at this. This is funny too. Like, this is a holder for that engine beauty cover. It's supposed to be here. Yeah, also they used too much silicone, but it's not like a big of a deal. But again, the car came for carbon cleaning initially. It has the vehicle inspection light on. It needs new vacuum pump, but the problem is we don't know without removal of the valve cover, is like based on what job they've done in here in the engine bay, if they replace the camshaft or not. Also, the bracket is not put on for the AC line, and that sensor is not clipped back on. What else? So we didn't even check the car from underneath. This is just what we can see in the engine bay.
Guys, before you buy a car, always open the bonnet, have a look, obvious signs, if it's got any leak, if you see anything loose, everything, you know, looks out of the ordinary.
Yeah, or if anything is missing, like bolts, you see that if bolts are missing, that's like a not telltale sign, but like a red flag, one red flag. So something is wrong with the car.
Yeah, check the levels, take your time, I don't know, spend 10 minutes before you buy a car, just, you know, check the basics.
And now let's show you how it's looking like when it's done properly. Obviously the bolts here are not cut because we didn't do timing chain job on this one. Yeah, we used the silicone there. We cleaned obviously the surface. As you can see, the whole valve cover is clean. And let's have a look at the injector bolts, or sorry, nuts, what I mean. So if that makes sense, this bolt, the stud, is less sticking out from underneath the nut than this one. So that's how I know it's not over tightened. And obviously I did that, so I know it's not over tightened. And here is how that fuel line is supposed to be routed. Again, there is that missing rubber bracket. What else? Yeah, this is the other bracket which is missing from there, holding that vacuum line. Yeah, so as you can see, it is put on properly on that nipple. The bolts, again, not a big deal, aesthetics, but still. Yeah, and that one as well, the coolant. Yeah, and also there is that engine holding nipple or whatever that is. Yeah, so this is what we've done recently, which you may have seen on the channel already, or the video will be released after this one, I'm not sure. I just finished the first region on this one. Then is going to change the oil, check once again everything, because the customer is coming today for collection or picking the car up. But yeah, so the car is up in the air, and let's have a look at it from underneath. And yeah, as you can see, it's full of oil. The oil pan is full of oil, but we've checked and it looks like, because here you can see the sealant is the old, like the white sealant, and throughout the perimeter of the oil pan it is black. So like it got black very likely because of the engine oil dripping on it. And if you have a look at it, the engine is full of oil from underneath, so everything is coming from top. What we think, or what we guess, that when they done the cylinder head, they didn't remove the oil pan. They just, we don't even know if they replaced the top chain, because you can do it without it, so you don't have to remove the oil pan. You can just change the top timing chain and leave the oil pump timing chain in place, so don't even need to remove the oil pan if you do the cylinder head. Yeah, so it's hard to tell. Not hard to tell. We can tell the oil pan very likely wasn't removed. Yeah, what's hard to tell if they replaced the timing chain when they done the cylinder head, or if they just did put back the old one. And then is showing that cable what's moving all the way around. So that's where the bracket is missing. Yeah, and that's full of oil as well. So now we checked this, we can lower the car and I can get back to the customer. And before you say that we don't want to work on them or on those cars, or we reject, or like we don't do our job properly or whatever, it's not the case. We don't have problem fixing those cars. Only issue is that the owner has to be aware that if we do the job, we want to do the job the proper way, the OEM way, how it's supposed to be done from the factory, and that won't be cheap. We need to fix everything, like, because we give warranty and we don't want anybody coming back to us. I mean, obviously it can happen, and if it does, we rectify the problem, the issue, but we want to do our best to our ability to provide the best possible job we can. And yeah, so that can be fixed. It's not a problem, we can do it, no problem, but it will cost a lot more than the initial quote, because there is a lot more wrong with it. Or if the customer doesn't agree, because we understand that it is a lot of money, then we don't do the job, because we don't want to ruin our reputation. It is quite good so far. So yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Like, even though if you're a mechanic or just a viewer, what would you do? What would you want us to get the job done? Yeah, I'm quite curious, like interested in your opinion. And also yesterday we had exactly similar case. A guy, was very nice, a dealer, he's selling these cars, and he bought one which some garage done a job to it. Again, very bad job. That can be done too for a lot of money. So yeah, we told him no, because like we didn't want to fix it just halfway, we wanted to do it the proper way. That car has like a lot of problems and it would need a lot of money. Again, if someone doesn't mind or don't mind and has the money, wants to fix it, no problem at all, we do it. The problem is that sometimes it's not economical, so we always give our honest opinion what's wrong with the car, rather just lie or make up stories or things like, let's try this and see if it fixes the issue. No, we very likely know what the car needs. So yeah, we tell it up front, look, this is what it needs to be done to the car, to the engine, this is what is wrong with it, you want it or not. So I'm ending it here. I'll need to make a call to the owner, let him know what we found, because I'm not sure if he's even aware of it or not when he bought the car. So I'll need to have a conversation with him. And yeah, but thank you very much for watching. As I said, leave a comment. I'm quite curious what you think, what your opinion is about these situations. But yeah, other than that, see you soon in a very next video. Take care and bye bye guys.